Holmes's downfall began with one fatal mistake, his scheme involving Benjamin Pitezel. Pitezel had been one of Holmes's most trusted associates, a fellow fraudster who had helped him pull off countless cons and insurance scams, but Holmes, ever the opportunist, saw a way to turn their partnership into one final payday. The plan was simple. Pitezel would fake his own death, and his wife would claim a $10,000 life insurance policy, which they would all split. It was a textbook Holmes scam. Except Holmes had no intention of splitting anything. Instead of faking Pitezel's death, he killed him for real, using chloroform to render him unconscious before setting his body on fire to make it look like an accident. Holmes then went to Pitezel's widow, Carrie, and convinced her that her husband was alive, hiding under an alias, and that they needed to be careful about how they collected the insurance money. In an act of pure sociopathic cruelty, he took 3 of Pitezel's 5 children, Alice, Nellie, and Howard, under the guise of reuniting them with their father. They never made it to their father. As Holmes traveled across several states with the children in tow, he continued running his usual scams, staying one step ahead of the law, but investigators were already piecing things together. Authorities in Philadelphia discovered Pitezel's real body and began tracking Holmes's movements across the country. What they didn't yet know was that Holmes had already murdered Alice and Nellie, locking them in a trunk and suffocating them with gas. Their bodies later found buried in a rented house's basement. And as for little Howard, the youngest of the 3, Holmes had butchered him, dismembering his body and burning his remains in a stove. Holmes was no longer just a fraudster, he was a fugitive murderer, and he was running out of time.